You like the amateur porn, the like.
I like shit when it's like that looks like someone who I know, and I always comb through the fucking net looking for people I know, like chicks I grew up with, who I guess not a lot of fucking 36-year-olds doing porn, but I'm always if you ever go to those websites where you know just porn websites, there's a fucking net, throw a rock on the net and you'll hit them. There's a few. Yeah. It's insane. Like you sign on like fucking days in a row or weeks apart, never see the same chicks the same twice.
It's surprising. You would think that there's just like
Sooner
everybody.
Later you hit the wall where it's just like, well, that's everybody. Take your pick. But no, it's just there's always somebody out there willing to fucking be like, take a picture of my pussy with a fucking cucumber in it. Or something like that. It's very strange to me. Like you would just imagine we'd eventually run out, but I mean,
that you'd hit the sort of limit on like how many women are in the country that are willing to.
Absolutely. Think about the Tickle Me Elmo doll. Sooner or later, everybody that wanted one had one, and then it stopped selling. Got to be the same thing with fucking porn. Sooner or later, everybody that wants to like take naked pictures of themselves have done it, but apparently that's not the case. Apparently it just keeps going and going. But I like that. I like the amateur shit.
You like the amateur?
I do. I like to see normal people fucking more so than like beautiful women naked and shit like that. Although I will look at like someone famous naked just for the curiosity factor.
Yeah.
Like there was those Britney Spears pictures where she's getting out of the car and you see her fucking snatch. I totally looked at that because I was like, what's it look like?
Like it looks like one of those hats those guys wear in the military.
Like yeah. She must have been in the military. I don't go for famous chicks, man. Like it's just because Ann Nicole Smith was never gonna fuck me. Did you? We've worked with famous people, and I get asked a lot, like, "Hey man, Salma Hayek, did you fuck her?" Which is such an insane question. It's like you assume people immediately assume
if you're in their vicinity that you.
Walt Flanagan.
Tell him, Steve Dave.
Says that he gets questions like that. Like after he got home from Mallrats, people around town were like, "Did you fuck Shannon Doherty?" And he's like, "What are you nuts? Like, no." He's like, "I barely met her. I think she was on set when I was on set one day, but that's about it." I mean, there's an insane disconnect where it's just like, just because you're working together making a movie and because there's so many lascivious tales of Hollywood that everybody's sleeping with anybody. Let me tell you, nobody fucked me. But, you know, people fuck Ben Affleck, though.
They do.
That dude fucking... I remember there was a point in his life, and this pre-marriage and pre-kid, that dude would just open up TV Guide, point to a show, and be like, I'm going to call her up, and boom, get it done.
It's a whole other world.
It's a different world than you and I deal with.
Well, I just assume that somebody who comes up to Walt Flanagan is like, he had a better chance of fucking her than they did.
I guess that's the rationale.
Yeah.
It's just like, between me and you could have
like,
fucked Shannon
you had
Doherty.
the shot.
Did you do it?
You know, you
And
could have
like,
got drunk on some, you know.
What an awesome story it would be, though, for Walt.
If
You
Walt was
you
just
could
like...
eat out on that story for the rest of your life. Like, hey, man, I fucked Shannon Doherty. Get out of here. They'd make him the mayor of Highlands.
They would?
Totally.
But run on that platform.
That's it, run
it's
on
like,
it.
this guy fucked Shannon Doherty.
And me and Alanis are walking around just bullshitting, walking around talking and whatnot. And wound up walking around for like an hour and a half and just got further and further from the hotel. You know, into areas where probably it wasn't a good idea to be walking around after dark and whatnot. And I'm in moments like that, my fucking radar goes off. I'm one of those people that just suspects everybody wants to commit a crime if they're on the streets at night and whatnot.
Yeah.
White, black, Asian, Puerto Rican,
everybody.
I don't give a fuck. Everybody. If they're on the streets in downtown area after dark and it ain't a well-lit area and you're in side streets and shit, you know, chances are, I feel, you're up to no good. So we're walking down one of those fucking streets, and I notice there's a dude across the street. Nobody else, dude. It's like 28 days later.
Yeah.
When the man wakes up and shit, and he's walking across the bridge. Nobody's there. It's fucking empty. Street lights only. And there's a dude on the other side of the street, shady-looking character, ratty-ass clothes, who crosses the fucking street to be on our side of the street. And immediately my fucking spidey sense starts tingling.
My spider sense. It's beginning to tingle.
I have no fucking superpower. You know, it's not like Spidey's sense starts tingling and he could fucking shoot some web and fucking punch somebody. My spidey sense starts tingling. I'm like, I'm gonna have to offer to suck this dude's dick.
That's your superpower.
Yeah, that's it. My superpower is like, I'll suck your dick if you let us go.
Wait, man, I'll suck your dick. Oh. Ah! Damn. Suck on that, you bitch-ass trick.
Just do it well.
Yeah, I'm a master cocksucker. Let us live, that kind of thing. So I noticed this dude cross the street and start walking directly toward us, and he's making fucking eye contact. Like, we're on his fucking radar at that point. And she don't fucking notice, because Alanis is a real up with people kind of person, where it's like everybody is good and inherently
She's not
good.
suspect of
Oh,
what's
she's
going on.
so not suspect. I don't know how that girl has got this far in life and shit without something horrible happening to her, because she just trusts everybody.
Yeah.
And also just like, even if like, you know, we were to get killed or something, like Alanis be the person sitting there going like, well, it's probably our fault. Like, she would cognitively reframe the whole thing to be like, what's our fault or society's fault or Reagan's fault. And they were like, you know, fucking, this dude killing us is insane.
It's
or
his
something
fault.
like that. Yeah, it's his fault. Blame doesn't go where it belongs, because she just likes people. She trusts them. So dude's coming at us, and Alanis is yammering away. And I'm like kind of half in the conversation at that point, because my other half of me is focused on the dude who's rapidly getting closer and closer, and the distance between us is kind of shrinking.
Yeah.
And I'm just like scared shitless, you know, because I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm so not fucking the fucking brave dude who's.
And you're not that confident about sucking his dick.
Shit, no. I mean, I could do an able-bodied job, a yeoman's-like job, but I don't think that I could fucking. I think he might still rob us after.
You don't know if you could save your life.
I don't know if I
with
could
your
suck a
mouth
cock to save my life or her life. Maybe mine. Maybe it's just like, maybe he's like, all right, that cocksucking was worth you getting a mild whoop ass, but I'm gonna kill her. And then I'd be like, why didn't you ask her to suck your dick? You know, she's a chick. And also, he didn't look like he was in the mood for cocksucking anyway. He looked like he wanted something from us. Man.
Yeah.
You could tell. Like, you get a vibe, man. It's weird. You can get a vibe off people.
Yeah.
And that dude had a vibe like he wanted something from us, and we were definitely the focus of his attention. Across the fucking street. Like, so I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So he's getting closer and closer, and she's talking, and finally I'm just like, hey, did you see this? And she's like, what? And I'm like, this. And, you know, trying to talk about the dude without the dude noticing, because he's getting closer. And she's like, so? I'm like, he crossed the street to be over by on our side of the street. And she's like, what, are you worried? And I was like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And she's like, and very weird and shit. And she's Canadian, too, and there's no crime in Canada. So she not on the same page, but she sees the fucking... Literally, I'm almost crying at this point. So she's sensing that something's wrong.
Yeah.
And one, you know, maybe a couple inches shy of pissing my pants, because I'm like, what do I do? Like, I'm not strong enough
What
to
do you
whoop
do?
ass on this dude. Like, Muse the kind of guy, somebody starts shit with him, Muse will throw down. Like, Muse, there's a dude who comes up to Muse in a bar, and he's just like, were you in that movie Clerks? He's like, yeah, and the dude punches him in the face. And Muse just turns around, grabs a pool stick, and starts beating on the motherfucker. Just starts, and he's got some boys there, and they jump in, so everyone's kicking this dude's ass. But even without his boys, Muse is just like, you hit me, I'm gonna fucking hit you back really, really hard.
Yeah.
I'm so not that guy. I'm like, you hit me, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna fall down.
I'm gonna cry in your fist.
Yeah, fucking. If anything, your fist will slip off my face based on the fucking Niagara Falls falling from my eye. I'm such a pussy. And I'm like, I can't protect myself, let alone me and this fucking girl. And she's like, girl's got the biggest album on the planet at that time and shit. And I'm like, all the headlines are going to read, Alanis Morissette, comma, friend, died because pussy don't do shit, you know? So I'm like...
Man covered in tears and urine.
Shit, urine, and tears, body found beside her. Heavyset gentleman. Did nothing. So I'm like, we're dead. And I remember even saying to her, I was like, this is fucked up. We're going to get hurt right now. I know it. And the dude smokes right up to us, man. And he's like, hey. And I was like, and she was like, hi, because she just, that person.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I was wondering if you guys wanted to buy a magazine. Like, I feel like that statement, you know, of like, you want to buy a magazine.
That was the
opening
bait.
salvo. Yeah, to me, be like, huh? And then
I would love to buy a magazine.
Yeah, so which one? You know, is it Boy's Life? Is it Highlights for Children? Because I like Goofus and Gallant. But I thought, I'm still kind of like tight about it. And I did, and this is so, I'm so ashamed to admit it. But I kind of like, I didn't like immediately push Alanis into the dude and run away. But I did separate myself from her. Like, I was in, you know, fight or flight mode, and I was flight mode. And I was, like, going to hope that she was smart enough to run, too. But I was a couple, like, steps away from her. You know, in that way of, like, the fucking chivalric thing would have been me putting myself between her and harm's way.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck it, she's a tough bro. She sings about blowing dudes in theaters. I'm running. Hopefully she's smart, because she's a smart chick, too.
Yeah.
She's smart enough to run as well, maybe in the opposite direction, whatever. Rather than us like ganging up on the dude, because 2 against 1. But who knew if he had somebody in the side alley or whatnot?
Yeah.
So I'm still kind of not at ease, but Alanis just goes with it, and she's like, well, what won? And the dude reaches into his fucking, like, jacket. And at this point, I'm like, here comes. His knife, it's gun, I don't know what it is. It's a rusty fucking razor, something bad. Dude literally pulls out 3 magazines. And it's 3 magazines that, like, he probably lifted off a fucking newsstand, because it was, like, Good Housekeeping, fucking Women's Wear Daily or something.
Yeah.
Not like fucking People or something like that. And we gave the dude like $5, and he gave us the magazines, and that was the end of it. And I could tell, like, if I had any shot with Alanis Morissette, because this is prior to me getting together with Jen, really. If I had any shot with her, it probably went out the window that day.
It collapsed right there.
Because I think she might have sensed, like, you were totally gonna let me get a
You were
tattoo.
about to run from Good Housekeeping magazine.